Lucasade. Yes, people, what is going down? Welcome back to another stream. Who knows? I've just thought, is this going to be like the final one of the year? I mean, I'd have to squeeze one in tomorrow. Who knows? It could be the last one. It might not be. If there's something that I need to say or something to stream about tomorrow, then I will stream tomorrow. But if not, then this will be more than likely the last one of the year. So yeah, welcome back to another stream. I'm announcing a last minute gig, so the final gig of 2023, which is absolutely crazy to think. And for the first time, I'm going to be DJing on New Year's Eve. So that is going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. So tomorrow I'm all the way over in Sheffield. So yeah, I'm actually even out of town as well. I'm all the way in Sheffield, and it's going to be a shed load of fun. It's going to be really good. So we're hitting the road, we're taking the decks, and we're doing a New Year's Eve gig, and it's going to be a shed load of fun. So little bit of a backing story. I got home the other night. I seen on Facebook that somebody was looking for a DJ. A friend of mine put a post up saying a DJ was needed in Sheffield, and I thought, I'll inquire. I'll just see what this is about. And I just said, look, have you found anybody? And she said, my friend who had put the post up, she said, text this other person. So text, I said, look, I heard, there was a DJ needed for New Year's Eve. I wasn't sure at this point, obviously, what the ins and outs of it was. So I just said, look, I'm available, that kind of thing. All I knew is they wanted some R&B, and they wanted some like bass line and stuff. And I kind of thought, these people don't. I don't want to sound nasty, but I don't think they really had too much of an idea of what they wanted. I think, in some sense, what they really wanted was they wanted just a DJ who would come in on New Year's Eve and supply some music in their pub and just essentially give a nice sort of New Year's Eve party. So, they said they want like R&B and bass line, but I think deep down, if we just go with a little bit of everything, so start off with some R&B sort of stuff, start off with some commercially sort of tunes, and go into some sort of like house tunes, and then sort of go into some like bass line tunes, and maybe play like a couple of trance tunes, and then maybe go into some like clublandy stuff, and just sort of really go in with some absolute power. I think we'll be set for a really good and a really enjoyable night. So I got talking to the woman, and she was like really happy to have me on board. And I think, it was a little bit of a short notice kind of thing. So who else were they really going to find in that space of time? So I texted my good friend Elaine, and I said, look, if you've got no plans upon the new year, do you want to jump on this booking with me? You can do some little bits on the microphone and do a bit of a, like hyping up, and just, if there's any sort of announcements to make on the mic, sometimes they might come up and say, that there's a deal on certain shots at the back, and you just announce it on the mic kind of thing. And also, he's quite good with his R&B, so I kind of thought, he could help me out with the R&B, and it'll be a real nice, enjoyable way to spend the new year, have a party with the layman and noble. And so I got, like I say, I got talking to the woman, and she was interested sort of more or less immediately, and spoke to the layman, and he was kind of like down for it, and next minute it was obviously penciled in. it was obviously booked. So I don't know. I just thought it's something different for New Year as well. Like we would have probably gone to Doncaster and gone to Destruction, which, don't get me wrong, that lineup looks good. That lineup looks filthy. And they'll absolutely smash it. There's some great acts on, and we actually finish at midnight, so we do come back past Doncaster, so we might even just end up calling in. You never know, but anyway, truth be told, I'm really looking forward to doing this gig, and it's like I say, it's going to be something most definitely a little bit different to what I'd normally do upon a new year. So I was really sort of excited for it, really looking forward to it, and I just can't wait for it. I just, I proper feel like it's going to be a real nice buzz, and just sort of, really sort of looking forward to just getting there and just spinning some tunes and just having a really good time and playing loads of great bangers. So so we start at 7 p.m. and we finish at midnight. So we're going to sort of end on a big countdown into the new year, and then kind of like thanks for obviously partying with us and stuff like that. And obviously if we're enjoying ourselves and there's a few people in, we might end up maybe just slightly going past midnight. I'm not entirely sure. The boozer itself might have to close at that time. That might be their official closing time. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. We'll see what goes down. We'll see what happens. It seems like it's not too far from town, so it might be one of those where you get quite a few people that call in there sort of as they're on the way into town. So they might come in and they might be going somewhere a little bit later on to go into town and maybe hit up a nightclub or something, and go out round the town for New Year. And like I say, they might just use where we are as kind of like a little calling spot, somewhere to go in on the way, and somewhere just to have a couple of bevies before they go and hit the town. But who knows, they might come in and then decide, you know what, it's actually quite banging in here, and they stay longer than maybe they anticipated on staying, or maybe they just decide to stay here, or maybe they do just have a couple of drinks and move on. It'll be hopefully a really nice party, whatever happens, and it'll be really good. So we'll see how it goes. And myself and the layman, as you know, we do things online all the time. So why would you not want to party with us? The layman and the noble, our banter, it's all gonna be there. As well as us spinning tunes and just having a good time, really. And I'm looking for, I'm really looking forward to it, and it's a really nice way to end the year as well, on a high note, doing something musically. I've said this before, I've said it a few times, but we've had a really good year music wise, and 2024 is looking good as well. So it'll be really nice to end sort of on this high note, and it'll be really good to see where we go and see what happens, and just see what goes down. So really good, really positive, really exciting. Cannot wait for it. So today I've got to go through and like find some R&B tunes and get myself some bass line. I'm quite a big bass line lover, not gonna lie, and I do own a little bit of it. In like a big folder full of like loads of different house tunes, like deep house, bass line, bass house. So what I definitely want to do is get some of the old school niche, because that is something that I do actually lack on. I've got quite a lot of bass house, could still do with some more of it, but I've got fair bit of bass house, and then I've also just not really got much in the way of the like old school niche kind of things. So we're going to go ahead and, we're going to hit up some of them, and going to grab some of them and just see where we go. Just see where the road takes us, and just fill some folders up full of music, and um, just essentially go for it. What can I say? Just go for it, and just see what happens. And if it goes well, it goes well, which will be an absolute bonus. So the next thing that I do want to say is the free Christmas album. I've now dropped it. You can now download the free Christmas album. I'm going to be completely truthful, completely honest with you. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it's still good. There was I had essentially I had a little crash on my computer a couple of days ago, and it was like a really weird crash. And one of my plugins on FL Studio has stopped working, and it was a big plugin, and I used it quite a lot. It was a Sylymph, and I used it on a lot of parts of the track. Like, it's like a big synthesizer, if you don't know what it is, and it can like generate all different kinds of sounds. And one of the tracks that I wanted to put on the album uses the Sylymph, and it uses it a hell of a lot. And the version of the track I exported, the vocal was too loud, so I wanted to turn the vocal down. And every time I was loading up the project, it was telling me that the plugin was in a demo mode, and there was like a little voice that kept saying, "Thank you for trying this demo, thank you for trying this demo," and I couldn't get onto the project to turn the vocal down, because if I did that and then exported the project, you hear that voice, "Thank you for trying this demo," and it's not good. It's not really good at all. So I had a little bit of a switch around, and used a couple of other tracks. Instead of some of the ones I was going to use, and some of them just they needed some levels adjusting, I think. And again, they all used the Sylymph, and I can't get onto the projects because I get that "thank you for trying this demo." So I had a little bit of a look around with what tracks I've got, and like I say, I put them up, but some of them just, I don't know, some of them just needed just a few like little levels adjusting, I think. Sort of listening back, but for a little free present, I was happy. And Merry Christmas. You can grab them for free. It wasn't something, I didn't make this album sort of in hope to do really well, although like I wanted to do well, but it was more just, look, people have supported me this year. We've gone to new highs with our production, and I've been able to get tracks released onto labels and things like that, and it was just a little way to say thank you. There's tracks there, download them if you want. It's completely up to you. I just put them up there for a chance. People just, it is a couple of, it is 10 tracks. Thank you for all your support. There's some good tracks in there, don't get me wrong. Butterfly Ninja, A Lonely Sex Shooter. There was also some other tracks as well. A remix of Jennifer Hudson's Spotlight, which I think is one of my favourite tracks on the album. It just sounds really good, and it's just a really, really nice track, and sounds really cool. There's also a remix of Neo, Let Me Love You, and I went and like amplified the track a little bit because I thought it sounded a bit low. I think I've amplified it just a little bit too much. So what I'm gonna do is go back and see if I can kind of like unamplify it a bit. But when I was originally playing it on the decks, it was like I had to turn the gain up a little bit. It just sounded a bit low, so I tried to sort of amplify it a little bit, and I think I've just amplified it too much, that it just sounds too loud. now, and it just doesn't sound right, and it sounds real like tinny and echoey. So I just need to go back and sort of play around with that bit again, I think, and then I might just swap the file and put the better version of the file in there. And then there was another track called Beautiful Monster, another Neo remix, and I did the same. I amplified it because it sounded a bit quiet, and I think I just amplified it too much, that it just doesn't sound that good, and some of the sections in it don't sound good because of that. And then there was another track as well that I went on, and I added a bass sound in the breakdown, and I think it's just a bit too loud. So it's all a learning curve. But the folder's not going anywhere. It's always going to be there, so you can grab it. For as ever long as that folder will stay up there, you will be able to grab it, and I won't ever be removing it or deleting it. But sometimes things can play up, and links can crash, and after so many years, for whatever reason, they just don't work. And obviously by that point, I'll be do you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens. So, but yeah, the album's out. You can grab it. So where can you grab it? So if you go on to my SoundCloud, DJ Ash Noble, I've started making a playlist on there, and there's a link in the playlist to where you can grab the whole album. So at the moment there is only about 4 tracks in there. Yeah, so there's 4 tracks in there. I've got to add the other 6. Well, technically the other 5, because trust me, one of the tracks, the vocal that I used, it's part of a remix. The vocal, yeah, it was copyrighted, so I couldn't actually use it. So it's a little bit annoying. So SoundCloud took it down. So the actual pick up the phone, that is actually meant to be track 4. But it's put it as track 3 because obviously. So there'll actually be 9 tracks in the playlist instead of 10. But if you click on the link, so if I just click on the first track and go into the description and click the link, it'll take you to Dropbox, and you'll get like all the 10 tracks. So the 10 tracks are here. So you don't have to worry that they're all in here. It was just SoundCloud didn't like me using that vocal, and it said the vocal was copyrighted, which it's a newly released track called All Night Long, and I did a little bounce flip of it, and I actually really like it, but it just obviously, for whatever reason, like I said, they didn't like it. So but it's a nice little tune. But yeah, I just need to turn the bass sound down a little bit in it. But yeah, SoundCloud didn't like that vocal, so they said, nope, we've got to remove that off your SoundCloud. So yeah, a little bit gutting about that, especially when I do like when a Lonely Sex Shooter used also a copyrighted vocal, and Butterfly Ninja did the same. But yeah, some of them just they're a bit loud. I actually really like that track though. I did a really good job with that, and I actually really like the vocal on it as well. The original was always banging. Beautiful Monster. I love the bass in this, but again, it's just the levels. I went with that proper like Axel Gear sort of styled bass on it, so really good. Pick Up the Phone, really love that one. Took samples from a track called I think it was just called Phone, and yeah, I made something pretty cool out of it. And then I decided, after ooming and ahhing for months on end, what to do with it. I've finally oh yes. Oh yes. So yeah, I had to had to do something. I had to put that one in there. A lot of people like this one as well. You ready? Yeah, I like that one a lot. It's so something a bit different. This is the Spotlight. This is what everybody was. This was the one I really like. Skip it in a bit. Find somebody where. You ready? Piano's coming in. So yeah, that was another good one. This one, I quite like this one as well. always really rated when Hypersonic did a version of that track, so I had to do something with it. It was, it was one of them. But yeah, really good. Pick up the phone. Oh yes, you ready?
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
Here comes the rave breaks.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service.
I like what I did with the lead as well. I went with the bow wow bow 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 wow bow. Yeah, I really liked that. It was a really good, nice way of making the lead, and obviously Butterfly Ninja. I am your butterfly, I need your protection. You ready for the first? I want to show you up until the first drop. You ready? Oh, this bit. So yeah, really good tracks in there. So I think Spotlight, Butterfly Ninja, are like two of my favourites, but I do like Pick Up the Phone. There's also A Lonely Sex Shooter. I like this one as well. So for those of you who don't know, when I first sort of started getting into producing bounce music, so before bounce music I dabbled into like making some hardcore tracks, I did some D&B stuff. When I started dabbling into bounce, I did a track called A Lonely Sex Shooter. It was a mashup mix of Firefox, Sex Shooter, and Tomcraft, Loneliness, and it was sort of the first ever track I'd done where I felt like I was actually really getting somewhere with production, like since starting the bounce music. So we put it up on Layman Productions as a free download, and then obviously since then I've improved a hell of a lot more, and like a lot has changed. So I went back earlier this year and I did a new version of it. I went and redid it, and this was the outcome, and it sounds a lot better. I need you to get me off, be a slave, do anything I'm told. So yeah, there is the free album. So yeah, you can go, like I say, if you go to SoundCloud, DJ Ash Noble, there's a playlist called The Bass is Free. There's only 4 tracks in there at the moment, but you can click on the link and it will take you to Dropbox and you'll find all 10 tracks, and you are free to download these tracks, and you're obviously free to preview the whole things as well. You can listen to each track, so you cut it too, but I don't mind. You ready? I don't mind. In fact, I like it. Though I'm terrified. So there we go. I got really into listening to that then. But yeah, so there's the free album. Gig tomorrow. Got to get some R&B tunes. So I'm gonna swiftly end this stream and do that and go from there. See you soon, people.